So I'm here with Iwe, who is the toy and character director. Is that so?
Yes.
And obviously toys are a big part of Skylanders because they are the toys that you put them in the game, obviously. So how exactly do you do this? How does this work? What do you do?
I draw a lot. I doodle. You know, it all comes from just doodling a lot of different little characters. You know, like really simple chicken scratch like kind of things. And then I work with Paul Ritchie, the studio head, and we kind of go through and he helps me filter out what's a good character from the initial set. You know, and a lot of times we kind of Frankenstein stuff together. It's like that guy's sword or like this guy's expression or something. But let's try these combinations. Yeah, so a lot of iterations, tons and tons.
So you draw first, and then do you make the toys first, or do you build the models in the game, or how do?
We kind of do it together. So after the drawing's all tight and exactly how we like it, and every aspect like the colors and everything is all figured out, then the next step is model in super high-res 3D. So we have a team of modelers that model it in ZBrush and make it like super high-res. At the same time, we down-res it a little bit and use the high-res techniques to like generate normal maps and spec maps and stuff and make it really cool in the low-res. And that gets posed for the game. You know, they start animating it. The animator gets it and start animating it. We use that rig for the toy. We can then pose the super high res in any poser we want, and then we print it out in 3D and just kind of check to see which pose is the best.
Oh my God! So you draw the character, figure out the design, put it in the computer, then have people convert it to 3D, and then effectively pose it like a virtual toy, and then you have a 3D printer, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous.
When you actually have the toy in your hand and like a 3D print, that's when you realize whether or not it's worth pursuing or not. You know, this is 3D printed.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it comes out in full color like this. You know?
Really?
Yeah. So this just comes out of machine, and this is now, when you hold this in your hand, you feel like a little kid. This is where it makes or breaks, right? And a lot of times we go, okay, no, we got to start from scratch. Or other times it's like, okay, we just got to change this part a little bit. Maybe if you tilt the head up a little bit, you can see it better or something like that.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then eventually, you know, we make the toy from that. And here's an example of like poses. You know, this is all 3D printed just from the machine.
So just like slight variations.
Yeah, they're exactly the same, just different poses. So what happens is it's basically kind of like a powder, and then it prints on this powder, and then it becomes solid. So in the morning you dig it out. It's actually inside of this powder bed. And it's like digging for treasure, right?
It's like one of those toys that comes in the dirt. You know,
yeah, exactly. Except since we worked on this, we know every little piece of it. You know, we know every little angle of it. And then we, take it out carefully because it's really super fragile. And then we brush it out, with a brush.
Like
and then
archaeologist.
Exactly. And we use compressed air to blow it out. But it's so fragile at this point, like too much air will destroy pieces. And then that's what it looks like when it's all out of the powder. But it's really fragile. So this shows you half of it that's coated, the other half that's not coated yet. And then we coat it with a solution that really pops out the colors. It also kind of adds some strength to it. But yeah, it comes out, no one painted this. This is our in-game texture. We have this wipe, which is an expensive process, but it's really cool. It makes it look like wood, right? You wipe up dark paint and then you wipe it off.
Oh, wow,
so that you get all the creases are kind of in there, stuck in there. And that's how we make it so that it looks like wood. Without that, it looks like a big giant piece of plastic. And
there's a whole bunch of guys out there who build Warhammer models all day who just wish they had your job.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're doing. Now, obviously, with Giants, you've got Giants, which is totally different. How does that change from your end? Is there like a different approach to making them? Character
design-wise, it's a bit of a challenge because we still want this like really cool feel to it, but they need to be kind of aged up a little bit so that they feel big. So there's a bit of playing with on that side. On the game side, it's a big mess just because it comes with a lot of expectations when you have a big giant character. Luckily, we have a really amazing team that have met those expectations and much more. You can do a lot of really cool things as giants in the game.
What inspired you as a kid? Like, what do you draw from for inspiration?
I draw a lot from actually old school anime, but Mazinger Z was really big, and Gatchaman, it was like my big thing when I was a kid, you know. But I think for the most part, it's actually more like Skylanders are more nature than anything. They're just kind of natural history. I'm really big into animals and prehistoric stuff, and you know, just how animal anatomy works.
I can get behind that. You know, you get a shark, and you're like, what if the shark had a sword?
Yeah.
That makes it cooler. It's
right,
more fun.
Right.
Well, that's really exciting. What do you see happening next for Skylanders? I mean, obviously, you know, you can't make any bold statements here, but what would you like to work on?
Something that scares me a little.
Really?
Yeah.
That's an interesting. I mean, obviously, you've got more mature people getting into it, but do you ever see?
No. I don't mean. I mean, scare me in that it's a little bit hard to figure out how to problem solve it in that way. Not like a mature audience kind of thing.
You could go like full McFarlane and have like Clive Barker's Skylanders.
Right. No, I think it's more just something challenging, something that's different enough where it feels new to work on. Every day coming to work, there's a challenge for me.
How do I set this dog on fire but have it still be cute?
Right.
Well, very cool. I mean, I think the Skylanders looking great, and I'm seriously jealous of your job. So,
thank you.
Thanks for talking.
Thank you.